Gina Casserole here from the Bowling Ball Diet Podcast. I want to thank you for coming back to this episode. It's pretty exciting to have such a strong fan base off of my YouTube and Instagram. And I gotta tell you, at first it was kind of intimidating because I was like, do I know what I'm doing? And the answer is no. I don't know what I'm doing. But am I trying? Yes. Am I trying to be as real as possible? Absolutely. I mean, I almost didn't want to record today because I got a nice pimple on my chin, like straight up. Like, I tried covering it up and then I was like, oh, now I'm just pointing it out more. So I figure, why don't I just point it out? And it's a fact, okay? I have some inflammation going on in my system. I just finished having some avocado toast, which if you haven't had, it's amazing. I highly suggest. Avocado has a lot of proteins and vitamins in there for you. And it's pretty scrumptious. It's just nice, complimentary with the soft avocado, with the toast, with the crispness. And then you add a little salt and pepper. I personally like put garlic powder on it too. And it's a nice little treat, you know? And you don't need to spend $12 to do it. You just need to, buy an avocado and have some bread, right? I mean, that's all we really want anyways, is a little bread in our, in our system. Excuse me. Wow. I guess it's hitting me. So I just wanted to talk to you guys about just like overall, like how you are and how you feel and how that is up to you. Like, hold on. I'm sorry. I'm a little parched. It must be from all that salt. I mean, I didn't put that much. I put a little kosher, but anyways, I just think that it's a nice little treat. And when you do things like that, it helps boost your mood, like you're treating yourself right. Like, as you know, as you've been following the first few episodes, I'd like to emphasize the fact that you are in control of how you react to things and how you interpret things. But sometimes it's out of your control, like sometimes you can't be always the one who's navigating and understanding where you're going. Because maybe, let's say, if you were a captain on a ship, and you're in the sea. I almost said on the road. That doesn't make sense because whatever. If you were on a ship and it's a ominous night and the cloud is getting in the way of you seeing the stars. You have to go with your gut, right? But sometimes your gut is wrong. And then what do? How do you adapt? And then you have to go and use your tried and trusty ways that have gotten you before, or you listen to other people who might have more information than you. And that's where I come in. But what I like to do is sometimes I realize I don't have as much control of everything that I am doing or experiencing. And, that could be hard to accept, because I'm used to being able to get things what I want. But I also work really hard to get what I want, and because everybody in the bowling alley told me I was never going to leave the bowling alley. And I was like, I'm going to leave the bowling alley. I'm not going to be just, cleaning up pins and stuff, and the expectation from my pops was to go ahead and take over the business. And it's it was not something that I wanted to do. I still am figuring out what I want to do, but I know I didn't want to do that, I just didn't want to do that. And I didn't want, I like people and I like talking to them and I like seeing all different walks of life. Excuse me. But not a lot of people were taking care of themselves either, Anyways, I'm getting way off track. But I just wanted to say, I've been taking these B12 shots, okay? And I didn't realize how much energy I really have until I started taking these shots. Because I and I wasn't feeling super down or anything like that. But when I wake up, I'm like, ooh, I'm all fired up, I'm full cylinders, it's a hydrochloric or hydroponic. It's full nitrous, Fast and the Furious kind of steam and motivation that I have now. And it's oh man, I didn't know what I didn't know. And so now I just want to let you know that there's because a lot of people think like you get the collagen, protein powders and whatnot, that is a bunch of hullabaloo. And, but like, it doesn't matter if it is, if you believe it works, it's gonna work. Cause, you've heard of the placebo effect, right? I know I'm a little, but like, I'm saying the placebo effect, there's been numerous studies about it, how that is sometimes, it's just the belief in itself is the trick, you're not allowing yourself to believe that you are not unable to do things, and you're not able to oscillate in life, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you believe, then it's more possible than if you have disbelief. That's really what it is. And if somebody also believes that the medicine is working for them, then it's going to be happening. But then there's also things like medicine just works, and it's just interesting to see like how far we have evolved as people, like there's like people are afraid of bugs, right? And but like people used to have to like live with them. Like that was never like, oh my God, look at that, that's a roach. It's like, there's a roach. Like, okay, whatever, like the colonial periods, you think they cared? Like anything pre-air conditioning, nobody cared if there was a cockroach in their apartment, you know what I mean? They wouldn't be like, oh no, my food's going to waste, But there's a lot of things that are different about the colonial period than modern day times. Like, for instance, basically before the Industrial Revolution, anytime that was happening, because like people were getting sufficient amount of sleep, they had a hard day's work, they weren't so busy figuring out about gossip or being self-involved into other things, and those are all distractions, and it makes it hard for you to keep your focus, and when you have a lack of focus, and you have the lack of nutrients, and you have the lack of awareness, the bad things are gonna happen to you. But if you have like a focus that is about taking care of yourself and doing things where you do self-care, or like if you go ahead and you're like, hey, you know what, maybe I might have a deficiency somewhere, and you have a doctor that says, hey, why don't you do this? It'll help boost your immune system, then you don't be surprised when it actually works. Like I think Kobe Bryant said something like that. He said basically, like if you dream yourself to be in a situation, don't be surprised if you actually get it. Like it's what you've wanted, And it may not. I'm going off track of his quote, but not everything's gonna go to a T of what you want and how it's gonna play out. But at the same time, it's up to you to figure out like how can you adapt, and how can you correct what is seemingly not going wrong, or not even using terms like correct, maybe just guide it in a different way, because I'm a big believer in the power of language and how you interpret things, and how you interpret things is how you're going to perceive things. And so I think that, I think when you're trying to elevate your moods, because whether or not you're already in a good mood, you still have to keep on making sure you're just taking care of the basics and not getting wound up and not caring about little things that are unnecessary. Like, for instance, here's this like a mind-boggling situation. You go get your food, right? And your food is like, I don't know, let's say milk, okay? Maybe almond milk or anything with like an expiration date, basically. Now, you are programmed to believe that this food's value is no longer going to be happening on this exact date, that it is no good. Now, that's the sell-by date, right? And let's say you've not opened it up. It doesn't mean that it's still not good. It just means that, that is a parameter, but also you have to remember it's a business that is trying to sell you something by a certain amount of time, so they create the supply and the demand. Now let's say you open up the food and it's fall, like, and you open up before the expiration date, like a week before the expiration date, and it's fall. Now they're not right either, like, so you get to experiment, and you have to be like determining what is actually of a value for you. Yeah. Anyways, I just wanted to make sure you understand that you get to take stock, you get to invest. Rugamaru! Ruggamaroo. No. No. Sit. Anyways, we all been conditioned, okay? My dog hears a sound and he goes, woo, that's what he's conditioned innately to do. And my job is to make sure that he doesn't cause a ruckus, and he listens to me because that is the relationship we've established with each other. Anyways, I just wanted to let you know that you are important and you matter, and that, take your vitamins, and if not, you should do some research on the B12 because it'll help boost your moods, and you'll almost feel like you have energy like you did when you were a kid. And don't be afraid to be who you are, okay? You might have flaws one week, but the next week you might be flawless. You don't know. Anyways, this was another excerpt of the Bowling Ball Diet with Gina Casserole. Stay blessed.